So, let us start this lecture 33, and as usual we will recall what we learned in the last lecture. We basically looked at the why we will go for real cycle analysis and how to handle the losses in case of ideal in the losses incurred in the engines and incorporate in the ideal cycles, such that it will be almost closer to the real cycle, right, in an aircraft engines. Aircraft engine I mean only for the gas turbine engine. So, what are those things? We have looked at various components. For example, we have defined the pressure recovery factor in case of an air intake. Then we have also looked at isentropic efficiency for air intake and for compressor, turbine, but then we also looked at that it is not good enough to use isentropic efficiency, particularly for the compressor and turbine, and we will be using polytropic efficiency. And note that we got a relationship how you can relate the polytropic efficiency with the isentropic efficiency, right. But however, in case of the nozzle and air intake, we will be using the isentropic efficiency, right, but that is not really playing very major role. Why? Because the heat addition or the heat extraction is not there, except during expansion and compression, like that is the not extraction, rather it is being changed. In case of compressor and turbine, you are getting some work done in case of turbine, and you are giving work to the fluid, or the energy transfer takes place when you give work to the compression. So, armed with all those things, parameters, and also parameters which we will be considering in case of combustors are burner efficiency and pressure ratio across the burner, right. Today, we will be looking at how to incorporate those efficiencies and other pressure ratios into our calculation and carry out a parametric cycle analysis for turbojet engine, and we will derive the similar expression what we had done in case of ideal turbojet engine. Then we will take an example to see how we can use that for solving a problem or looking at various aspect and what it really does. So, we will, as I told you, real cycle analysis will be looking at carrying out for a turbojet engines, and this is as usual the turbojet engine. I am just repeating some of them, so that it will be ingrained in your mind that it is having air intake, that means all the process of compression in air intake is taking place the station 0 to 2, and as you know very well that there is a compressor and turbine, compressor and the turbine, and the work done by the turbine is meant to run the compression, right. And the thrust obtained by turbojet engine is basically due to the expansion in the nozzle. In this case, I have used a what you call conversion nozzle I have shown, but however, a conversion diversion nozzle can be used, and we will be restricting our discussion particularly to the conversion nozzle, and I will be mentioning about the conversion diversion nozzle also. So, what are the processes in TS diagram, and if you look at 0 to 2, that is your what you call air intake, right. In case of your isentropic, because this is a solid line, right, what we have considered, right. And keep in mind that all the time we will be using the dashed line to show the real processes. Why? Because this is non-isentropic in nature, and as it is non-isentropic, so you cannot show in a TS or PV diagram. You must be knowing from the thermodynamic point of view, but however, we have joined these lines right as a dashed line to make it more prominent. For that you can appreciate. So, from station 2 to 3 is the compression which I have shown here as what you call real process, that is dashed line, and keep in mind that the some process here I have not drawn, because the pressure the if I could have gone by this, it could have been higher than the P T 3. And this is the combustion chamber, where if you look at the process is taking place pressure P T 3 line to the P T 4, right. Keep in mind that P T 3 is less than P T 4, sorry, P T 4 is less than P T 3, right, because this is the lower pressure and there is a losses in pressure. In ideal case, the heat addition could have taken place in this line, this line along with the P T 3, right. In real case, it is the less than P T 4 is less than P T 3. Is that clear? That means, there is a loss in the total pressure in case of combustion chamber. Not only that, there will be also the incomplete combustion in the combustor. As a result, the burner efficiency has to be included in the analysis. And this is your basically combustion chamber, and the gas is expanded in the turbine, right. This is turbine from station T 4 to the T 5, right. The ideal process could have been taken place in this solid line, and the dashed line indicates the real process, and this is expansion in what you call nozzle, that is from T 5 to the P 9. So, if you look at you might be thinking why these two lines are in the same like T 5 and T 9, because here we are assuming the flow to be adiabatic, although it is isentropic, but adiabatic. Similarly, case of air intake, that is T T naught is equal to T T 2, right, because we are considering is an adiabatic. But in real situation, is it possible the process should be adiabatic in case of either air intake or in nozzle? Certainly no, there will be some losses will be there, but we are not considering in real cycle, because it is difficult to estimate, and those numbers are very small, particularly air intake will be small, but in nozzle it will be higher because the temperature is higher, right. Okay. And it is taking place in the residence time is small also, right, because it will be nozzle, it will very high velocity. So, therefore, considering this fact, we have not considered that. This is again little bit idealization we are using at this moment. Okay. So, that is one point you should keep in mind. So, armed with this, now we will carry out the similar analysis what we had done in case of a ideal cycle. However, we will incorporate the what you call various parameters which can take care of the losses in each component. So, the uninstalled thrust for the turbojet engine is expressed as we know that P is equal to m naught 9 V 9 minus m naught V naught. This is due to the momentum change of the flow, and this is the pressure thrust. A 9 is the area of the nozzle exit, and P 9 minus P naught, and we had neglected this term pressure thrust. That means, we are saying it is fully expanded, but in real situation it can never happen, right, except at the design condition, right. So, therefore, we need to take care of that. And equation 1 we can express as a specific thrust. If I will do what I will do, I can divide it by m naught here, similarly m naught here, I can divide it by m naught here, right. Okay. So, if I divided that, I will get an expression is basically I can take a naught out also, m naught 9 divided by m naught, right, for and then V 9 by A naught. If you look at this term is usual, like we had already derived relationship for this, and this is your flight Mach number, minus m naught, that is your flight Mach number, right. And A 9, if I take P 9 out, what I will get in the bracket is 1 minus P naught divided by P 9 and m naught I have added. So, if you look at, we have already looked at other V 9 A naught terms, we will be looking again little bit just to see how these losses will be incorporated in that. And let us look at this portion which we have neglected in the case of your ideal cycle. We will consider this portion first, see that what whether we can express in terms of certain known quantities, particularly V 9 by A naught, m 9 by m naught or not something or not. Is it possible we can convert that in terms of m naught 9 divided by m naught and V 9 by A naught? It is possible. Let us see how we can. If we do that, then it will be easier for to do a parametric analysis. Keep in mind that when we will be solving problem, you need not to do that. Okay. Here we are interested to club or the separate the parameters which you can vary, right. That is the beauty of this analysis, which is meant for to be used as a design tool. So, let us look at A 9 by P 9 divided by m naught. I can write down m naught 9, right, in the I can write down here m 9 naught 9 divided by rho 9 V 9 A 9, right, and that is nothing but that. So, I have done in the same. So, that means m naught 9 by m naught, this is the term already we have got, which is similar to the momentum thrust expression, like, and A 9 and P 9 divided by rho 9 V 9 A 9, and using ideal gas law, right, I can express rho 9 as P 9 R 9 T 9. So, I can cancel this P 9, and what else I can cancel? I can cancel this A 9, right, area of the nozzle exit, right. So, I will get m naught 9 divided by m naught and R 9 T 9 by V 9. What I will do? I will multiply it, what you call in the numerator A naught square, that is the speed of sound at the free what you call free stream, and divide by gamma A R naught T naught, because I am just doing A naught square, and this is nothing but if you look at A naught square, right. Yes, can I not do that? I mean, there is nothing harm in doing, am I right? The same thing. So, I will get here, and I can write down this R 9 is nothing but R g we are using. R g means one value with respect to the higher temperature we will be using, and similarly R A for the air what we will be using. This is, you keep in mind, this is the universe gas constant, right. This is the gas constant, specific gas constant, right. So, and T 9 by T naught I can write down, and V 9 by A naught, if you look at this term is similar to that of the momentum thrust and gamma A. Gamma A is we will be using 1.4. So, that means with this term, this term we have expressed in terms of m naught 9 m divided by m naught 0 and V 9 by A naught, and all those things are known, and this is also another term which we will be using, right. We can get expression for this. Then we will get, then we can also evaluate this portion where we need not to know the A 9, right. I should know that, because here it is the what we call is a rubber engine, what we do, we are not decided yet the what the dimension. So, therefore, A 9 may not be available to you, right, but however, we can carry out an analysis, in the preliminary analysis we call it off design analysis, right, because we have not designed right, and later on we can do the on design analysis. Of course, that is not a part of your course. but it can be similarly it can be done, right. However, we can write m naught 9 divided by m naught in terms of fuel air ratio by striking a mass balance across the turbojet engines, which we have already done, but let us do that. M naught 9 is equal to m naught m dot naught plus m dot f, and if I divide it by this m naught here, I will get m naught 9 divided by m naught is equal to 1 plus m dot f, because f is nothing but f by m naught, that we know that fuel air ratio, right, we have already know. So, and we can write down V 9 by A naught as root over gamma g r z T 9 divided by gamma a r a T 9 into m 9, right. And earlier what we are doing? We are saying this gamma g gamma a is same, but now we will not consider again that the real effect is coming into picture. Similarly, R g need not to be same as R a, right. Then it is coming into picture, of course, T 9 by T naught, this would be T naught, right. T 9 by T naught will be, again we will have to determine, and m 9 will determine, so that we can get this term. We will be following the same way, I mean there is nothing difference except how we are now considering various effects of gamma g, gamma a, R g, R a, all those things, and also efficiency will be coming into pictures, pressure losses will be coming into pictures, right. So, by using isentropic relation, we can get in the similar manner m 9 is root over 2 by gamma g minus 1 p t 9 by p 9 gamma g minus 1 divided by gamma g minus 1. This is similar from the like which we have already done from the isentropic relationship. Now, what we will do? We will write down this p t 9 by p 9, right, same as that of p t 9 by p t 5 into p t 5 by p t 4, p t 4 into p t 3 into p t 3 by p t 2 into p t 2 by p t naught into p t naught by p naught and p naught by p 9. Earlier what we are saying that p naught is same as p 9, right. We cannot afford to say at this moment, it is not fully expanded, right. I cannot say p naught is equal to p 9 in the case of real cycle. It can be if it is fully expanded. If it is not, it will be different. It can be over expanded, it can be under expanded. So, now what are these terms? If you look at p t 9 by p t 5 is nothing but your, this is pi, this portion is pi nozzle, p t 5 by p t 4 is nothing but your pi turbine, and p t 4 by p t 3 is nothing but your pi b burner, p t 3 by p t 2 is nothing but your pi c, p t 2 by p t naught is nothing but your pi d, and this is pi r, right. Yes or no? You look at the diagram which I have shown here, this portion p t 5 by p t 9 is your nozzle, and 5 to 4 is your turbine, right, and 4 to 3 is your combustion chamber, right, and 3 to 2 is your compressor, and 0 to 2 to 0 is your diffuser or air intake, right. Of course, T naught to total to the P 0 static is nothing but your pi r. So, and if you look at like these are the things which we need to consider, and we must know what is P 9 by P or P naught divided by P 9 value. P naught will be given to you, but whether we know P 9, we really do not know that, right. That must be given, or we will have to evaluate, right. How we will evaluate? If it is a convergent divergent nozzle, it is quite difficult, is not it, right. You can find how? Isentropic relation we cannot apply, but we are not using polytropic efficiency for your nozzle, right. Okay. So, therefore, and you do not know really what will be the exit, because there are various losses are there, and this P 9 will be decided by the various losses, right, and P naught of course, you can find out what is the ambient. So, therefore, it is not that easy to find out that, right. But however, if it is a conversion nozzle, you can do very easily. So, from previous analysis we know that T 9 by T naught is nothing but T T 9 divided by T 9 in the numerator, denominator will be T T 9 by T 9. T T 9 by T 9 you can write down P T by P 9 gamma z minus 1 divided by gamma g, right, and T T 9 we need to evaluate what it would be. We will be using the similar way. You please keep this diagram with the station number in mind, and we will be using the same way what we did for the pressure. Basically, we are expressing T T 9 by T 9 in terms of temperature ratios across each components. This is for the total, but now we are making it each components to carry out a what you call analysis, right, that is the reason. So, where T T 9 by T naught we can write down T T 9 by T 5 into T T 5 by T T 4, T T 4 by T T 3, T T 3 by T T 2 into T T 2 by T T naught, T T naught by T naught. If you look at what is this thing, this is your tau nozzle, this is your tau turbine, this is your tau B, this is your tau C, and this is your tau D, and this is your tau R, right, is not it. Now, in this case we know that this will be tau D will be 1, right, is not it. Total temperature remain constant in case of a diffuser, and similarly tau n is 1. So, if you look at, then I can write down all those things, because in this case this is 1 and this is 1. So, I will get tau T, tau B, tau C, tau R, right. And if you want to do further, you can retain tau n and tau D. I can improve the real cycle analysis, but I must know how to do that, how to put a values for that, it should be known, right. So, that portion of course is not being used generally, but however it can be done very, if one can think little bit critically and find out ways and means. So, now let us strike an energy balance across a combustion chamber by invoking the first law of thermodynamics for a steady flow process, right. See, if you look at all whatever we are doing is for steady flow process, but in aircraft need not to be steady, except your passenger aircraft in a level flight it will be maybe steady, but still then sometimes turbulence will be coming into picture, some unsteadiness will be there, right. So, therefore, it cannot really be the steady, but you can assume it to be quasi steady, right. So, now combustion chamber having a station number 3 and 4 at the inlet and exit respectively, and we know this air is entering, you are adding some heat fuel being burnt, and then you can get. So, product. So, if you look at m naught C P A T T 3, that is the amount of enthalpy is entering into the m dot f delta S C, and that is the heat released due to the combustion, but all the fuel cannot be converted into the complete product. So, therefore, there will be an efficiency, this is known as burner efficiency, we have already defined, and it will be less than always 1, is equal to m dot 4 C P G T T 4, and m dot 4 is nothing but m dot O plus m dot F and C P G. So, what I will do, I can divide this thing by all the terms m naught C P A, is not it, C P A, and similarly m naught C P A. If I do that, I will manipulate this simplification, I think this is not equation, I will get T T 3, right. If I this will cancel it out, and then this will be nothing but your eta b m dot f m naught delta S c by C p a and 1 plus m dot f divided by m naught C p z C p a T T 4, and keep in mind that this is nothing but your f, this is nothing but your f. What I will do? I will get an expression for f basically by little manipulation. I will take this f into this side and take this or I can take this term to that side anyone, so that f will be one side. So, if I will do that, I will get f eta b delta S c C p t naught minus C p g T T 4 C p a, right, and is equal to C p z T T 4 C p a minus T T 3 T T 2, right. But how I am doing that? Because I am basically dividing this by the what you call T naught, right. If I divide it by this T naught here, similarly T naught here and T naught here, right. I can do that. So, I am getting that, and instead of T naught I can write down T T 2, because we know T T 2 is equal to T T naught, right. So, what this term you could recognize, can you recognize some terms like C p z by T T 4 C p a T naught, this term, that is your tau lambda, right. So, similarly this is also tau lambda, right. So, I can get, and what is this one? Tau c, this is your tau r, yes or no. So, now I can write down, as I told you, tau lambda is C p g by T T 4 divided by C p a T naught. So, I can get an expression f is equal to tau lambda minus tau r tau c divided by eta b delta S c C p a T naught minus tau lambda. So, this expression, if you look at, when you look at your earlier, it was not that complex, right, am I right? It was a simple. Now, a lot of terms have come up and is that, but when eta b will be 1, you will find that it is same as that of the ideal cycle. So, that means if you know the formula for the real cycle, you can get very easily ideal cycle. That is the crux of this analysis. So, we will see as we go along. Let us strike a energy balance, that is for that all the work harnessed by the turbine is being used by the compression, right, that is for the turbojet engine. So, then we can write down by using the first law of thermodynamics, that is m naught C p a T T 3 minus T T 2 will eta m, this is your mechanical efficiency, right, into m naught 4 C p z a T T 4 minus T T 5. What is this mechanical efficiency? Basically, this is because the work is transferred from turbine to the compressor through a shaft. So, all the work cannot be transferred, it will be less than the whatever being transfer can be reach the compression. So, that is because of shaft and friction and other things, like, therefore, it will be always less than 1. So, we are using this again. So, by algebraic manipulation we can get tau t is equal to 1 minus 1 over eta m 1 plus f tau r divided by tau lambda and tau c in the bracket tau c minus 1. If you look at for I mean like this small algebra I am just skipping, right, you can do yourself, and if you look at this is same as that of ideal cycle. Under what condition? When f is what will be 0, right, is not it, and eta will be eta m will be 1. That means, this term will become 1 for ideal cycle. Then tau t is same as that. You can look at your note, you will get that it is same that. So, now we need to find out tau t. like we have already we will have to sorry, now we need to find out pi t by knowing the tau t, because tau t is known to us. If I know tau c, right, tau c how we will get? I should know the pressure ratio across the compressor. If I know the pressure ratio across compressor, I can get tau c or not. How? By using polytropic efficiency, which we had derived in the last lecture, right. And if I know this, I know this tau r by the flat Mach number, tau lambda I know. So, I know all those things, I can get the tau t, and getting the tau t we can get the pi t, because that is very important, right. Pi t will be tau t power to the gamma z divided by gamma z minus 1 eta p t. This is polytropic efficiency of turbine. Right, of turbine. So, similarly total pressure ratio across the compressor can be determined, right, if I know the tau c, or tau c can be determined if I know the pi c by using the polytropic efficiency of the compressor, and gamma of course is known to you. We will be using gamma is 1.4, right, for gamma. So, now we can express this, because we have now come to the turbine. Now, we need to look at the nozzle part, right. Nozzle part means we can express this T T 9 by T 9 across the nozzle in terms of Mach number, right. We need to know that, right. And how we will do that? That is the question, when the losses is there, right. And if you look at for that, we can basically look at whether it is a conversion nozzle, whether it is choked or unchoked, right. For example, if I consider the what are the processes happening under a unchoked condition. So, this is my condition is a P T 5, right. Okay. P T 5 is the my inlet for the nozzle, right, I can consider, and whereas the P T 9 is a lower than that. What is the total pressure corresponding to the nozzle exit, that is P 9, right. This is the static pressure P 9, right, and here we are assuming it is unchoked in a conversion nozzle. If you look at, we are considering a conversion nozzle only. This you can say as a 5, this is 9, right, or you can consider this as a 9, but there is a difference in the pressure, right. Okay. This is your nozzle. Now, if you look at in this case T T 5 is equal to T T 9, because it is a adiabatic process, therefore, I have put it here, T T 5 is same as the T T 9. But if it is unchoked, right, then expansion will be there, you need not worry about, because it is P T 9 is equal to P naught in the conversion nozzle, like there is no over expansion, under expansion kind of thing, right. This all these over expansion, other expansion will come when it is conversion diversion nozzle. So, therefore, it is very easy to look at it, and you can but if it is a choked one, what will happen, that if the process is taking place here, it is to be choked. This is a choked condition in a non isentropic flow condition, but isentropic it will be C s here, which will be the same pressure if I go for, but in actual situation it will be C s isentropic critical pressure, like that is the V T square by 2 C g, right. Now, the main problem will come how we can determine the whether it is choked or non choked. That means, we need to determine that by considering the pressure ratio across the nozzle is less than equal to the choked pressure ratio or not, right. If it is less than, then it is unchoked, if it is greater than or equal to, then it is choked. But all those things we cannot consider here, because it is not isentropic. So, the losses will be there. Now, if losses are there, we need to consider the nozzle efficiency. How we will do that? So, that we will see now. Okay. So, and that is the Craftsman. Once you know that, then you will get the basically this is the choked conditions, and then that will be corresponding to the choked temperature, right, or the this thing condition to the T c, right. If I know T c, I can get V 9 is equal to that root over gamma R g T c, right. Then I will get V 9. Otherwise, V 9 will be different depending upon unchoked condition. So, that is the part we will look at, and we choked means what? As I told you, T t 9 divided by T 9 is equal to T t 5 by T c. If I say is a choked condition, T 9 is same as the T c we are saying. Then it will Mach number is equal to 1. So, this is gamma g divided by 2, right. Now, from knowing this, you know gamma g. So, you know this T t 5. So, you can get very easily T c or T 9, because T t 5 will be known here from whatever you have done the calculation, we will be knowing, but we will not be knowing whether this choked or not. Suppose it is not choked and you are taking this condition, then you will be in trouble. So, for that we invoke the definition of the efficiency, right. To derive efficiency means isentropic efficiency for the nozzle, to derive an expression for temperature ratio T c s by T t 5 for isentropic process in terms of non isentropic temperature T c by T t 5, as since expansion process is non isentropic. For example, this thing is a isentropic T t s by T t 5 is equal to, we can write down 1 minus eta I n 1 minus T c divided by T t 5. This is basically coming from the definition of what? Definition of eta I n, right, is not it? It is coming from the definition of eta I n, isentropic efficiency. So, by equation by using equation Eisen relation, we can derive as P c by T t 5 is nothing but T c s divided by T t 5. This is an isentropic process. So, we can very easily do that, and gamma z divided by gamma g minus 1, and what we will do? We will put this expression 3 here and get that, right. That means, we if I know this, right, I know this T c and T t 5, right, and I can find out what will be P c by P t 5, right. So, then we can express that P t 5 by P c, right, in terms of this expression will come over here. So, I will get 1 over 1 minus 1 over eta I n gamma g minus 1 gamma g plus 1, right. So, we can get this expression if we know this, right, then because eta n is known and gamma is known. So, you can get this expression, and once you know this, then you can find out whether choked or not choked. And from equation 4, we find that pressure drop across the nozzle increases due to the frictional losses in nozzle, right, this thing, and with the help of equation 4 and other equation, we can determine specific thrust. So, if you look at, we are basically finding out all this expression V 9 by A naught, m naught is known 1 plus f, we have already derived expression, T 9 by T naught, we have already found out how to go about it, and we need to find out this, or in the case of conversion diversion nozzle, for CD nozzle, right, generally P naught by P 9 must be known, right. If you know this, then you can derive. If it is choked one, you can do that. So, it must be noted that equation for specific thrust bit complicated as compared to ideal turbogen. Next step of course, is to find out the TSFC and following that F by Ts, and is a similar way we can find out propulsive efficiency TSV naught, and all these things we know it is similar to that ideal cycle, only thing that 1 plus F is coming into pictures, right, rest of the things are similar. So, you can get the overall efficiency for the expression. Now, what I am thinking now, I will take an example, I will be little fast in doing that, but in the some point where we will be looking at critical pressure, I will spend more time. But before that, let us look at the what is happening in the by carrying out a specific thrust, right. So, if you look at this, we have taken some condition altitude 12 kilometer, m naught 0.85 and T T 4 1600 Kelvin, right, and this is basically ideal. We are using a dash line as a ideal one and the solid line as a real, and we are doing a variation, we are looking at variation of specific thrust per pressure ratio, and on the right hand side we are looking at what to call thrust specific fuel consumption, right. And if you look at this specific thrust increases and reach a peak value, then it decreases, right. And if you look at for this real one, the peak values will be somewhere occurring here, this is your peak value or the higher pressure. And whereas for ideal one, it is having similar trend, but peak values will be somewhere at different place kind of things, or maybe like here kind of thing, which is not same as that of that. The different pressure ratio is occurring, and keep in mind that the real cycle or the real one, the specific thrust is much lower as compared to the ideal cycle, because the dashed line is a ideal, right. And because why, there is the losses will be there, and as a result the mass flow rate, what you need to have the same kind of thrust, right, will be higher. So, that specific thrust is lower, because a lot of resistance you will be getting, right, and combustion efficiency will not be proper, it will be less than 1 and pressure losses will be there. And similarly, if you look at this the real cycle, the TSFC decreases with the increase in the pressure ratio across the compression, and for a ideal one it is having similar trend, but however, the real will be having higher values TSFC, because if you look at TSFC in this case is shown, it is much higher as compared to the ideal cycle, right, and which is obvious, because the as I told that combustion efficiency will be lower and you need to burn more fuel to have the same kind of thrust, right. So, therefore, you need to I mean like pay penalty, I mean like not pay penalty, rather it is the reality is that ideal cycle will give you low TSFC as compared to the real cycle. So, if we incorporate more losses what we have neglected, then you may get in higher TSFC and lower specific thrust. So, let us look at the propulsive efficiencies and thermal efficiencies. If you look at with respect to the pressure ratio across the compressor for same flight Mach number and same conditions of altitude of 12 kilometer and T T 4 1600 Kelvin, right. If you look at here, this is your dashed line is basically ideal one, that is your thermal efficiency, this is your thermal efficiency, and which is much higher in case of ideal, but in real cases this is much lower values. And whereas the propulsive efficiencies in case of real one, it is having higher value as compared to the ideal one, right. Why it is so? Because if you look at the case of the velocity, exit velocity in case of your real cycle will be smaller as compared to the ideal one. So, therefore, you will have a higher propulsive efficiency. And if you look at fuel consumptions, will be in case of real one, it is having fuel air ratio will be lower, because in this pressure range, but whereas in case of a lower pressure ratio, it will be having the higher values, right, and of course, it decreases with the pressure ratio across the compression. So, and this fuel air ratio, because what happened, you need to have a maybe large air amount of air which you need to be inducting into that to overcome the resistance. So, therefore, maybe the fuel air ratio is being higher, right, being lower in case of a real cycle analysis as compared to the ideal one. So, with this stop over, and we will take an example in the next lecture.